all y'all are having a blessed day. It is a beautiful day here on the mountain, as is every day, thank you, Jesus. And the chickens had a good time running about. And of course, that one girl, as soon as that gate is open, she runs for the cat food. And I just think it's so hysterical watching her run and waddle. We are here with our next little project. And if you remember this beauty right behind me, this was my 3-hour quilt. And it is 5-inch squares with wonky triangles sewed on them, and it took 3 hours to do, and I'm calling it Chickens in the Corner. And of course, there is one girl right there that just insisted on doing her own thing. So we are here today to do a border for it, and we're going to be doing a paper piece border on adding machine tape. And it's going to be Wonky Diamonds, and they will encircle it all the way around. And the width of this border, these edges, is dependent upon the thickness of your adding machine tape. My adding machine tape is 3 1/8 inches wide, and I am cutting them 5 inches long, the same as the length of these charm squares that I use to make this quilt. They finish at 4 1/2. So you need to start with 5-inch length, and if you're going to do the same exact size I did in this video, I'm doing 10 across and 11 down. So for that you would need a total of 42 pieces of adding machine paper that is the width of your adding machine paper by 5-inch. So this is 3 1/8 by 5-inch, and you need 42 of those. In addition, you will need squares for the corners, and you will need a total of 4 of those. Your cornerstones will be the width of your adding machine tape squared. Okay, so if it's 3 1/8 wide, you need it to be 3 1/8 long. All right, and that will finish out to whatever it does. You do the math. I don't do math too well. So, and these are Wonky Diamonds. I have a pile of scraps, and they are good diamond size. And this one I just kind of drew a line on, and you will see that I am using a new cutting mat next to my sewing machine. It actually lights up, and boy oh boy is it fabulous. I will be including a link to this cutting mat down in the description of this video and on all future videos. This is a lighted cutting mat. So it has a light table beneath it and a cutting mat that sticks on top of it, and it lights up the edges so you can make sure that you are lined up where you need to be, okay? So I am really not drawing too many lines on this. Once you get the rhythm of it, you can just place your diamond and then just make it any size you like, and you can make it at any angles that you like. I am using a Riley Blake jelly roll called Hush Hush, and it is all whites, low volume. So I'm using that as my background, and then of course the fun scraps. So I have my stack of adding machine tape cut in, and I have 42 of those. And again, and then I have these 4 that are square. So these, draw any random line here. You could use a Sharpie if you prefer. And this is kind of going to spiral outwards from the center, and it's going to kind of work like a log cabin. So we have our random triangle, and again, you don't have to follow that, you don't have to draw that, because as you can see, my pieces are not really lining up. But you can just work with it. You can just run with it, and if you're going to follow this line, then obviously you need to find a diamond that will fit and go up by 1/4 inch. And so far I'm not finding one. Let's see here. And once you get going on this, there, that works. Once you get going on this, you will be able to speed up along and just do your own thing. So now you can clearly see the fabric behind it. This light table is absolutely awesome. And I have pre-cut some 5-inch lengths and some 4-inch lengths. What you're going to do is you're going to place this right sides together, and then you can use your light table to line up the edge Okay, and I'm just going to quickly, yep, that'll fit. See, I don't trust myself all the time. And then you just bring it on here over to your sewing machine and you sew right on that line. Finger press, and then you can trim the excess off. And this is just, it's just so nice to have light here and to be able to cut. So there is the first one. Now if you wanted to fold this back, you can do that. We're going to be doing this next piece here, and if you just fold it like that, and then you can pull the seam out like that and use your quarter, add a quarter ruler, and the link is below for that. And now you know that the next piece has to line up like this. You've just trimmed it to 1/4 inch. So you lay the next piece on there and you sew. I did get my nails done. I did them the other night, and what I've done is they are flowers. I used, after I put a base coat on my nails, I dropped alcohol ink on and it made flowers. So I just drew flowers on, made roses, and then added some leaves and a wee bit of sparkle, and I like it. Okay, now we need the next piece, and the next piece is going to go on this line, so we can fold that up, trim it to 1/4 inch, and that helps us line up the next piece it goes on. So we just put that on like that, and so. And that last piece will start here, so you didn't have to sew that over like that, but I did anyway. Okay, so we can pull this back and fold this back on the line and trim to 1/4 inch. Take our next piece, and I wonder if one of these scraps would fit. Nope, not there. Let's see if that will. And this won't reach, so what we do is we sew 2 pieces together and we don't worry about it. No one will notice. Okay, so we're just gonna sew that piece together, and then we flip it like that. These triangles that we cut off will definitely be able to be used again. So there is our next diamond, and here is the first one. You'll just be sewing those together end to end, and you're just going to start chain piecing. I am going to be chain piecing these. I will probably just place my diamonds on here and pick fabric, a square, and you can just kind of catty corner it like that, and you can just do that. You don't need to mark any lines. You can recut your fabric into a diamond shape and be happy with it. Mine's a kind of a loose diamond, and then just take your background fabric and sew it on there. Or you can mark the lines. That is completely up to you. I just wanted to come back and tell you that if you are not going to mark your diamonds, then what you should do is sew from the front, because then you can see your pieces. It's easier to just sew from the front if you are not going to mark your diamond, and then just slip it underneath the sewing machine and sew the 1/4 inch like that from the front. I have all of our border sewn, and they're all wonky. I have the 4 cornerstones here. What we're going to do now is we're just going to sew these end to end like this. The sides need 11 of these blocks, and the top and bottom need 10. So sew them together. So 2 units of 10 and 2 units of 11, and then you have the cornerstones that will go on. And at this point you can just sew pairs together, because we all need at least 2 of them together no matter what we're doing. Okay, I have the borders sewn together, and I have the quilt top here, and I am going to take the side pieces that are 11 units, and I'm going to sew them on matching intersections. And then when I'm done with that, I will sew the cornerstones on the 10 count unit for top and bottom, and I will sew them on. So we only have to worry about next intersection. Okay, so we're going to take that and match up and nest the seam and sew it. And now we are matching up the next seam. And if you have any fullness, you're going to hold the pieces up and let the feed dogs and presser foot draw them in, sucking up all the excess. Okay, now we match up the next. So there is the border, and I really like it. Lots of fun. Now I'm going to do the other end of the quilt and sew the other unit on, and I will come back as soon as I have all of the border sewed on. All right, we are in the home stretch here. I have a few more blocks to sew, and we will be done. We are done. I am going to quickly iron this, and we will wrap this up. So here is the finished quilt top. I love the Wonky Diamonds. I think it is the perfect border to finish this off. So I want to thank you all so very much for watching, and I want to thank you for your subscribing and for leaving your kind comments. They just make my day. And my hair is a mess. I would like to invite you all over to my coffee website. I have a shop over there, and I have lots of items for sale. I have subscription clubs that give you access to content, exclusive patterns and content, and may start doing a few classes, and also to consider joining our Discord. We have a growing family over there, and we love chatting and we love sharing what we're all doing. And I want to thank you all so very much for being here, and I will see you right back here at 70 Acres Studio with our next little project. Not sure what, not sure when, but I will see you all then. Please have a very, very blessed day, a very, very blessed week ahead. I love you all very, very much. God bless.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Good night, John Boy.